Welcome back to the channel. This is the Action Figure Grader, and today we're going to talk about the Clone Wars line of figures across all kinds of different packaging variations. But in general, I'm lumping all of these sales underneath the general umbrella of the Clone Wars. And this is a line that I don't follow particularly closely, but I know a number of you do. I get lots of requests pretty much every week for more Clone Wars related price guides. So I try to do it every so often, and I'm going to be out of town while this one airs. So I want to make sure that you guys have some content while I'm away. And I've got some multi-packs, some vehicles, some single carded figures. And in general, I feel like the prices for the Clone Wars, other than the exception of the heritage auctions where a lot of those went kind of below fair market value, in general, I feel like the prices are pretty strong for a number of these items. So if you want more detailed information on the Clone Wars, make sure you subscribe to Mando number 5. I can't get it out. That is Keith Guppy. He's a Patreon supporter, good friend of mine, and he has probably one of the greatest modern Star Wars action figure collections that exist. 30th anniversary to, Clone Wars to everything else. He's literally got pretty much everything, and he has one of the most complete Clone Wars collections that exists. So make sure to go subscribe to his channel, Mando number 5, if you want more detailed Clone Wars information. Okay, all of these sales were within the last, I'd say, week and a half or so. And first is Clone Commander Cody. We're going to start off with single carded figures. And this one looks super mint in a star case. That one sold for $70 plus $9 shipping. I found two other sales right around that $70 price point, plus or minus about $8. So that gives you a pretty good idea of where he sells. A few Jedi that sold. We got Quinlan Voss. He sold for 70 pounds over in the UK, which is $90 US. Part of that might be the conversion, but this is one that you don't see very often in the Clone Wars packaging. It's not one that pops up regularly. This is actually the first time that I've seen one for sale on eBay in terms of when I've been tracking stuff. I couldn't find any other sales for this particular figure, character, card back in the last 3 months. So this is the only one I could find, and that one was at $90 US. Another one that you definitely don't see very often, that's Eth Koth. This has got the kind of very animated style to it. And this one sold for $80 in the US plus $6 shipping. But first time I remember seeing that one for sale in a long time. Great looking figure though. It very much mimics the cartoon character. Great sculpt on that one. Obviously the Mandalorian Warrior is one that's very popular. CW number 29. This is one that is all over the map in terms of price point. This one sold for 40 pounds, which is $51 US. I found them sell recently as high as $100. So that's a pretty big price disparity. This one was in the UK. The one in the US sold for $100, but $50 to $100 is your general price range. Not very helpful. Clone Commander Jet. This is one you do see pretty regularly pop up. That one sold for $90. I found two other sales for $100 and another one for $110. So this one was in pretty clean condition, it looked like. And that's another one where I really like the sculpt and the colors on that figure. Great looking figure. Next up was Matchstick. I don't know if you remember Matchstick, the pilot. This one sold in the UK for 50 pounds, which is $65 US roughly. And that's another really cool figure that I had not seen before. Obviously, the Jedi Temple Guard from the Rebels series. I'm kind of lumping that in with the Clone Wars. But this is one that's always expensive. Even on Facebook, they can sell for this price or more. This one did sell for $120, but that's one that is always very popular among collectors. And good to see a sales price on that, $120. Next up, Serpius. CW number 61, great figure on this one. It's a huge figure, but I vaguely remember this from the cartoons. $98.99 for this one, free shipping. CW number 61, Serpius. On to some battle packs, and then we're going to finish off with some vehicles. This is one I had not seen before. It was a little rough around the packaging, but Republic Assault Submarine, pretty cool looking vehicle there, along with the kind of the scuba trooper. That one sold over in the UK for 50 pounds, which is $65 US. The Defend Camino battle pack is always a popular one because of the clones inside. That one sold for $192, but in all fairness, that one is always pretty expensive. I remember vaguely that one being pretty expensive. And I forgot who was included in that one. Does not say. It says, just says 501st Legion that defended Kamino from the Separatists' attacks. Oh, there it is. Arc Commander Blitz, Clone Trooper Echo, and Clone Trooper 5. So it's got, arguably two of the three most popular, or two of the three fairly popular clones from the Clone Wars cartoon, but 192 on that one. The Joker Squad, this was an Entertainment Earth exclusive, always one of my favorites. And this is really part of the Legacy collection, but it kind of reminds me of the Clone Wars packaging. And I always include this one just because I really like this one, and it does have some clones inside. And it's obviously got Lord Malaval, which is one of my favorite figure sculpts. I've almost bought this several times. Now, the price on this one says $175. It's a weird glitch that eBay's got right now. I can't explain it. It actually did sell for $125, which is way down. This one, maybe 2 years ago was going for over $200, but that one did sell for $125. This one's for sale for $175. I don't know why it automatically skips to a different one. Here's one I do have in my collection. I would love to figure out somebody that would buy it for me. I've got this one graded, believe it or not. This is the Battle of Christophsis Target exclusive multi-pack. It's a huge multi-pack that has like the Clone Separatist tank, as well as an AT-RT, and then Anakin Skywalker, several battle droids, and a clone trooper. It's a really cool battle pack, but it's so big. I don't know why I bought it. I decided to get it graded, and it's graded CAS 85+. This one sold for $165, which was a pretty good price, really. I think I paid even more than that for mine, and it did grade CAS 85+. It's just so tricky to figure out a box for it. It's right here behind me, right there. It's so big that I would like to offload it to somebody if they're interested, but I got to figure out how to ship it safely without the acrylic cracking. But anyway, that one did sell for $165. Next up is the Hailfire droid onto the vehicles. This is a cool one, obviously, if we remember from the prequels. $62.97. This seller had two of those available, mint and seal box. They both sold. And here's also the Corporate Alliance tank droid, another really cool one that we remember from many of the battles. 180 Canadian dollars is what this one sold for, which equates to 130 US dollars. In an alternate universe where I had unlimited space like Keith Guppy, I would collect the Clone Wars in a heartbeat. I absolutely love these items. They're just such great display pieces, and we're never going to go back to this. We're never going to see these kinds of items at retail ever again, just because shelf space is at such a premium with retailers now. They would never stock these massive items, and it's a shame because they really were one of a kind and kind of the last dying breed, if you ask me, of Star Wars at retail in terms of big vehicles and big multi-packs. Here is the ARC 170 Fighter. This one sold for 100 pounds, which is $130. One of my favorites is the Clone Turbo Tank. I found two different sales. Both of them were at $400, mint and sealed box. This is the first, if I was going to ever get Clone Wars stuff, this is the first thing I'd get, is the Clone Turbo Tank. I just think that is one of the coolest vehicles. Obviously, it had quite a showing in The Mandalorian. I don't know if it was season 1 or 2, but this is just an awesome vehicle. It's $400, and I found two different data points on that. Next up, we got the Trade Federation Multi-Troop Transport. It comes with 20 droids. Awfully cool item. Again, another example of what used to be at retail. Absolutely cool. That one sold for $300. We did see the Boba Fett Ultimate Battle Pack sell on Heritage. I forgot what it sold for, but it was certainly a lot less than this price of $245 plus $20 shipping. But that's a really cool one, obviously, because of the exclusive Bosk that came with it. That animated Bosk is so cool. Next up, we do have a loose Republic gunship with kind of the older style packaging, and that one was loose. It did sell with the box for $150, and then we had the other one in the Saga collection packaging with the tiger, the tiger shark front on it, and that one sold $300, best offer accepted. It was in mint shape, still protected in bubble wrap. So a couple of data points, either loose or still mint and seal box, between $150 and about $300. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this look at recent sales for various items that are kind of, at least some of them, tangentially related to the Clone Wars. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll be back soon.